Welcome back to another Joseki lecture. Today I decide to wrap up the 3-4 point low approach variations. So today we'll be mostly looking at, or first of all we'll start looking at, the Kosumi variation. So against this very common move, black has many choices. Black can go into the corner and just play out another Joseki, letting white pincer right here. So this is the correct follow-up for both sides. Here, obviously, black can Tanuki once again, right? Keep playing other big moves. If white follows up, black can go ahead and keep playing elsewhere and just complete abandon the c15 stone. There's still some aji in the corner. If black tries hard, he can still live inside. So if white really wants to complete kill off the c15 stone, white can spend another move. But then as we can see, that black was able to gain so many moves outside as compensation. So I don't recommend you play like this as white, although your position is probably fine. Mostly because we obviously have a hard time manage things when our opponent's so fast. So maybe at this point, also make sure that you spread out your forces. You spread out and then take territories from elsewhere. And later on, you can come back and cap black inside at d14. So this is the common ways of thinking about what to play locally. Black can obviously decide to play a 2-space extension. This is also a very good move. Against this move, white's choice is to Tanuki, right? So make sure you don't play a move like h17 right now. It is a big move. However, or let's just say, for example, you play out things like this. This is a big move, but I think it's more urgent to actually just go into the 3-3 and take a big point elsewhere. But if you really want to play like this, right, this is no problem. Like, it secures your corner, and you are solid and fine in here. So let's say, for example, you didn't do that, and then you decided to just play somewhere else. And then black, happens to get a sente locally. I just want to quickly cover what happens when black peeps you at f17, because this seems to be the move that gives my viewers most problems, and this is where mistakes happen. So a lot of times, what I see is white does not really worry about this move, right? This is actually a very urgent move that white has to deal with immediately. Let's say, for example, white plays elsewhere. There's immediately a cut like this. If white connects, black is able to cut, and this is disastrous for white. On the other hand, if white sacrifices the corner, this also happens to be very, very bad. If white extend later on, black can follow up the attack. Or if black really does not want you to live, you can also descend at f18. And then these guys have to run, right? So it started out as a corner, but now they have to run for life. So this is a problem basically for white. To deal with this is a very simple way. White actually pushes on top. Black needs to respawn, and then white just Hane connects. And then this cutting point is gone, right? This is not really a cutting point anymore. So this is a good way for white to defend. Later on, if black attaches on the bottom, depending on the situation, in some games when we're towards the end game, you can just grab the points for yourself, right? You can just grab the points if you don't think the outside is important. But this early in the game, the outside is very important, so you can defend. If black pulls back, white can just hop out. It's true that white is not alive locally, but black has insecurities on both sides. So black needs to defend the pincer here, and then white can just go ahead and start counterattack black on the other side. So yeah, that's kind of solves the problem. Maybe my viewers who are around the Q 1Q or even into down level, they would have this worry that what do I play if my opponent peeps me over here? It looks like a very awkward position for white. So you can use my suggested solution in this video against this stuff, right? You push once, and then and then you honey connect. So that is a very good defense, right? Even if black, gets rid of our roots, we can just hop out, and then we look at the insecurities on both sides. So that's a good position for white to be in, actually. So I quickly wrapped up the Kosumi. Today we'll be moving on to a different topic, that is different types of enclosures, and I expect to spend maybe 2 lectures on it. So we'll talk about, what are some of the differences between a small enclosure, a big enclosure, and the most popular 016 enclosure. So today we'll more or less just talk about ideas, and then the next lecture we can focus on the tactics. So back in the days when I was learning Go, this P17 was like the move, right? There was no other moves, pretty much. You don't even really see the big knight enclosure that much. Most people just play P17, and that was a textbook move for many, many years. Today, I would say P17 is still very, very good, but it's kind of not favored by AI. The reason is because white has ways to make over concentration for black. So first way that black is really scared of is this shoulder hit and jump. After this exchange, white is able to gain some influence towards the left side, and also we can see some sort of over concentration. There's over protection in the corner that's making black stones inefficient. The other problem that this small knight enclosure has is white's attach at R15. The variations that follows is black extends, white turns, black extends out, and then white is able to easily settle on the side. So whenever black's trying to build a moyo on the right side, white has this way to settle himself. So locally it's an equal position, but white can achieve his goals of breaking black's moyo. So these are the 2 problems that the small knight enclosure is facing in today's philosophy. I don't really think any of my viewers who play this move will lose the game because this move. That would just be ridiculous. But I'm just sort of, I guess, introducing you the evolution of enclosures at this point. So because of the fear of over repetition and or over concentration, and the fact that white always has this annoying attach at R15, today's more common enclosure is the 017. So now white can obviously not attach anymore because black is just going to extend at Q16. And this is actually a mistake by white. It was like as if if black makes this enclosure and white played a R5 move, which is obviously very bad because it allows black to secure the corner. So O17 takes care of the problem of the attach at R15, and it kind of also takes care of this shoulder hit, because now when black plays this one and then extend, we can tell black's corner is a lot more efficient, and black has more territory than a stone at P17, right? So obviously white is still very playable, but sacrificing the corner territory early in the game is very hard to manage for a human player. So the advantage of this enclosure is because it gets rid of the possibility of overconcentration, but leads to different variations, such as white's attach at Q16. So we will focus on the Q16 in another lecture, but this is some sort of problem that black is facing when playing the big knight's enclosure, and this move happens a lot of times in my game. I don't know about in your games. You can comment below the video about how often you encounter this move. Therefore, to avoid all these, and also there's also stuff that white can do by attaching at O16, right? This is also a valid move. So to avoid all that, AI has improved our sort of philosophy by saying, hey, let's make a 2-space high extension enclosure, and now all of a sudden all of the attaches, all of the this stuff obviously does not work. If you attach here, that doesn't work at all. Black can just extend out. This stone doesn't do much apart from strengthening our opponent. But there's some, obviously every move has its own problems. This move, such as O16, really focuses on the efficiency of building the moyo and not so much for the corner. The main problem for this move is that it's kind of awkward for black to follow up in the corner anymore. Let's just say white plays somewhere else. Can you find the next move that completely secures the corner? Well, the answer is not really. If you play this, seems there's still some aji in the corner. So black is kind of in this floating state where he has to focus really on a moyo instead of the certainty of having a corner or enclose the corner. So this is a very high level philosophy behind this move at O16, which is played pretty much all the time in pros games. Obviously, against this move, white has the low approach. White can also, sometimes just think about, approaching from here, and then at some point down the line, white can go for this variation and cause problems in the corner. So the new move is not without any flaws or drawbacks. It's just I guess every move has its advantage and its disadvantage, which we'll explore more in the future lectures. Alright, so thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.